Hi everybody, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are watching me from. My name is Sally Roper and I'm coming to you from my humble little home studio in Ocho Rios in Jamaica. And this is going to be part 2 of making this ripple mug. I posted a video earlier this morning which showed how I made the body, and this is it here. So what I'm going to do today is show you how I add the handle, and then if you care to keep on watching, I'm going to actually put an inscription using alphabet pasta down the inside of the handle. And as I said, these are a commissioned piece, so I'm putting in a little message from the person who is giving them to other people. And then at the very end, I thought I would treat you to a little view of the Caribbean Sea, which is right outside my doorstep. I'm very fortunate. So what I'd like to do now is just get on with this video and show you how I trim and handle the body of this mug. There we go. So what I do when I am trimming a mug, I don't add lugs or whatever. What I do is I get a little bit of water and I put a little bit of moisture down here. I put a little bit of moisture on the rim. I kind of spin it for a little bit until it catches. It will create its own slip. And then I just spin it around and center it. Now, in as much as I have tried, and I haven't tried all that hard to do top centering, I don't. So I use my thumb as a feel, and when I feel the pot touch my thumb, I just go down to the base because I don't want to warp the shape of this mug. I give it a little push, and then I check it again, and now I've centered it. It really wasn't very difficult. Top centering would probably be a whole lot easier, but I'm not going to. And then what I do is I just very carefully grab around the pot. I always handle everything very softly. Even with strength, you can still handle things softly, gently. And I just push it down, give it a little spin a few times, random stops, and I just press it down to help create that seal. And I double check to make sure that it's still centered on the base. I'm not so worried about here. If it's a little off down here, it really is here because I am going to trim a little bit of a concave base in the foot to leave a very small foot ring. Now, when I made these, I didn't intend on trimming them. I was hoping that I would have made them thin enough. But now that they've dried to leather hard and I pick them up and feel them, they're still pretty heavy. So I am going to trim off. Now I'm using this, it's a Kemper tool, and I'm going to use this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go inside where the curve is, because this tool here has the perfect shape right here to go into my curves. And putting pressure down on here, I just go ahead and start to trim away. And I just kind of swing this tool in and out so I don't get sharp lines. Okay, and then just one more here at the top. I will do this at the end. Anyway, and I have this lovely diamond core tool. It's, I'm not sure which number it is. It's kind of dirty. It's a T5. This is a diamond core T5. It's become my favorite tool for trimming. It does all kinds of things. It has a curve, it has a corner, it has a straight edge. It's just so easy to work with. So now where I trimmed on the groove, I'm now going to go and get the outside where the cup actually bulges out. And I smooth this all down. Sorry, an alarm has gone off. Let me just go check it out. Sorry about that, everybody. It was my car alarm. All is good. Okay, so let me get back to where I was. And that's pretty much all the trimming I'm going to do. With these mugs, I try to throw them to the side so that I don't have to do trimming. But as I said, when I picked them up and felt them this morning, I thought, no, they need to just, I just need to reduce the weight of them a little bit. Not a lot. And then, as best I can, I take my metal rib and I just go over and I smooth out all of this. I'm going to be using a glaze. I already know what I'm doing to glaze them. And it's an opulence reduction look glaze. So actually the little ridges and the bumps and the marks that the trimming and the throwing have shown actually get accented with this glaze. It's really quite nice. So I'm not concerned about making it absolutely perfect and flat. I want it to have a little bit of texture. So you can see that how this has stuck using this method of, again, putting just a little, very little bit of water on the wheel and a very little bit of water on the rim, giving it a chance to make its own slip, and then setting it down. And I've done this without having to use lugs because I need to get my tools down to the rim. Otherwise, if I wasn't worried so much about the rim, I might use the lugs, or even the I have a Giffen grip. All right, so now I'm going to concentrate on the foot. Now I can tap this or I can press it. It's pretty thick, so I'm just going to peel off a little bit and take some off the whole base. They always say you throw slow and trim fast. And that's really up to your individual preference. It's what I was always taught, or was not always taught, it was what I was taught at the very beginning of my pottery days, which was about 16 years ago. So now as I get out to the edge, I go very slowly because I want to leave just this little, it's going to make just a slight curve. It's a little concave curve to the base of this pot. And that's just going to be it. And I'm done. I use a little bit of water on the rim, and I use my finger now to get rid of any sharp line. And then I go back and get my middle rib and I just run it across the bottom to smooth out the bottom. If you noticed on the mug I showed in my example, this is my Laguna 391 clay, which comes out almost black, and this is B-Mix 5. So they're going to give really different results with the glaze. So that's it. Now to release it, it's kind of hard to explain, but what I'm going to do is spin it, and then my fingers are going to actually grab onto the mug, and then it's going to break the seal here without warping the mug. And I just kind of go, and it will just release. And then I'm going to pick up, and I'm just going to take my sponge and just carefully go over the rim. Because there's no grog in this clay, I can do that quite safely. And that's it. So that's the trim portion. I use these little 4-inch clay planter pots, and I just put it in when I'm not handling the mug, because as you know, I'm going to be putting a handle on it. Oh God, I just, there, whew, put that on a little too firmly. It's stuck. Anyway, I just rest it on there to help keep it round. So I have, I thought I had, I must have put it on the last mug. So I have pre-made some handles. I did them with my extruder, and then I bent them into the shape that I want, and they've been just sitting under plastic all night long, so they're still pretty malleable. They're very soft. They are actually softer than this clay. So I have a couple of tricks I'm going to show you. So what I do is I just very carefully hold it. I have this dowel tool, and it is really fun because what I do is I just roll it on the end, and it creates like a flange. I hope you can see that. And that's what I'm going to blend into the pot, on the side of the pot. And I do it in both ends. Now normally what I would do is I would score this, wet it, and then put it on the pot like this and figure out where I'm going to attach it. But this is about the 10th one I've made, so I know exactly where I'm going to be attaching it. So now I'm just going to take up my mug, and I'm going to get my scratching tool. Where did it go? It's gone. My scoring tool, oh no, there it is. And I dip it into my magic water that has a little bit of slip in it. It's kind of just old trimmings. And what I do is I just slip and score that, and I do it again down here. Like I said, I know where I need to do it because I've made several of them. This is a production. I'm making 15 of them, so I already know where they're all going. So I will put that back on there. When I'm not handling this mug, I put it back on this it just really helps keep it in shape, because if it gets out of shape for any reason, as you know, clay has memory, and it will misshape if it can when it gets fired. Maybe not in the bisque firing, but it will in the glaze firing. Okay, so now we'll put that aside. We come back here. What I need to do now is line up. So I put this on. I always put my handles on crooked. So I'm being very careful now to look straight down onto this as I attach this. I give it a little bit of wiggle until I feel it stick. Then I rest my thumb underneath up here. I let that fall. I put it down where I've done the other score. And then I take it and I look and see if it's crooked. Now it is a little bit crooked, so I just have to slide this over a little bit. Barely any. And as I look at it now, this is a very important step. You look at it this way, you look at it this way, and you look at it this way. And you make sure that it is all well lined up and it's straight. Then what I'm going to do is a little trick that I learned from, I wish I knew who I learned this from, but I'm just going to dip my brush into water, and I just dab a little bit of water underneath where both parts of the handle have joined. And what that helps to do is equalize the moisture once I've sealed the pot, and once I've sealed the handle. So that little flange that I made when I used this dowel, this is where it's going to come in handy. The end of my my brush, this is the brush I use. It is a Royal Langnickel MG, part of it is, I think it's 155-6, MSGE 155-6. It's a short bristle brush, but it is great for this purpose. And it's got a nice angle on the handle. And then I use that angle now, and that little flange that I made with using this dowel is now what I just very carefully press into the mug to seal the handle on. and I go all the way around very, very carefully, making sure I grab a little bit, not a whole lot. I don't want to destroy any part of the handle. And then I do the same thing up at the top. And I just spread out that flange. And once that is completed, I dip my brush back into my magic water, and now I just go, and this is why I like this brush, because it's so small, and I just go and I just smooth out all of where I have just joined these two. The care I take into, I didn't used to, I'm gonna go back and say, when I was first potting and making mugs and stuff like that, I just kind of attached the handle and was done with it. But I have learned, as my skill has grown, to take more care in what the piece is going to look like at the end. I know that as young potters, we're just eager to get the piece made and move on to a next one. And now, as I have gained experience and I sell my work, I now make the effort to really do a good job here, because a good job here will make my pot all that much more sellable and more attractive to somebody else, because your clients will see the flaws. So there you go. As you can see how I'm blending this all in. And it's pretty good. I don't see any little pockets or holes or anything like that. And then the last thing I do is to take my sponge and I just go around and I just tidy it all up. And I just blend it all in, because I want it to look really, really, really nice. And like I said, the care I take into it now saves having to do more work at the next stage. Then I just go in with my thumb and I just have a look, just tidy it up just a little bit more. Go back, and that's it. Then I put this back on, because it shouldn't have misshaped, because it's bone dry enough. I take the end of my dowel and I sign it. I put my name on the bottom. I always put it under the handle. So when people are drinking, I think about what's it going to look like when somebody's drinking it and somebody's sitting across the table, and that's it. So you're welcome to stop now if you like, but I'm going to show you how I use alphabet pasta. Actually, I'm going to end this video and I'm going to start another one and show you how I'm going to put some a message down the pot. So there you go. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We've taken our pot now, and here it is. And it's turned out really, really well. It's a good piece. You can see how nicely the handle has been attached. And I don't have to worry about anything more in this. So stay tuned for the next video, and I will show you how I put in the alphabet pasta to write a message on this mug. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a really wonderful day. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. I don't post a lot. I'm not a teacher. I'm just somebody who enjoys sharing what I do on YouTube. So thank you all very much. Have a great day.